The man you just met in Jessica's story, Marty, actually wrote a book about his experience during Sandy. It's called Flood, Fire, and a Superstorm, in which he says God was on his side, allowing miracles to happen. He joins us now. Marty, why did you write this book?
I wrote this book actually because I used to tell my grandkids bedtime stories. And as they got older, they were the ones who said, you got to tell the story.
Yeah, sure.
And I did. I put pen to paper and got the book out.
Well, it's a great story for everybody to read. Now, you say prayer changed the entire course of the rescue effort that night. I want to read a quote from your book. You wrote, "We did a total of 3 prayer huddles. The first 2 were Our Fathers, and the last one was a Hail Mary. And after each prayer, I saw a positive change that told me someone was listening. And in my opinion, these positive changes could be considered miracles." So what were some of the miracles you feel you experienced?
Well, we didn't realize it at first, but the Rockaway Point Volunteer Fire Department had boat crews that were trying to get to somebody's house to rescue them, and they couldn't make it, and they sought sanctuary with us.
And you were in a community center that was elevated, right?
Yeah, we were in an elevated clubhouse right next. We had just abandoned the firehouse because the firehouse was flooded.
Yeah.
Eventually the trucks went underwater.
Oh, so scary.
So magically, after we said our prayer, 3 boat crews came in, and they were able to navigate the turbulent waters.
Right.
So that was the first prayer huddle. The second prayer huddle, at that time, we knew that the tide came in early, 6 hours early, the high tide, and it was a moon high tide, and it was staying there. And magically, after we made the second prayer, we could start seeing the tide to go out. And that was just remarkable that now we had seen the beginnings of this fire. We had no way to get to it, but we know with the receding tide, there would be a time in the near future that we'd be able to fight and go to it. And so the third prayer, at one point the wind, we saw that the wind had shifted, and we thought that was really good because now we're on the back end of the storm, and we're halfway through it. But what had happened was with the wind shift, it was really bad for us in terms that now the building we were in was immediately downwind of 135 wooden structures totally on fire.
Oh, my goodness.
And the smoke plume, which had embers flying through it. It looked like a meteor storm. What happened there was it now engulfed us in that building. People couldn't breathe. And we were now forced to evacuate.
Yeah.
The only problem was we knew our trucks were underwater.
Yeah, they're flooded.
And we really had no other way. There was still standing water that was, 9, 10 feet deep, and we had 40 people of all ages.
Goodness.
So we had, the first plan we came up for, and I really didn't think it was going to happen, but I got the chauffeurs, the drivers of the fire trucks. I said, risk leaving this building, go back to the firehouse. There were white cap waves between the 2 buildings.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said, see if the trucks will start. Miraculously, the truck started. And that was the 3 miracles there. But overall, the miracle, other miracles that occurred was we could have lost the entire community.
Yeah, nobody died.
And nobody died.
And now this book, you say it can kind of be a guide for other communities if they ever have a disaster like this. How?
It's not written as a textbook with specific instruction, but there are a lot of tips and a lot of preparation, that people can really use. It could be a good support subject for a disaster preparedness class. It's a lot of action. It's not a boring textbook, but it's designed to help people, global communities around the world, to handle multiple concurrent disasters and prepare for them.
Author and retired volunteer fire department chief Marty Ingram, thanks so much for coming and telling us about your book.
God bless. Bye now.
If you'd like a copy of Marty's new book, Flood, Fire, and a Superstorm, head on over to Amazon.com. There will be a Mass in Breezy Point in honor of the 10-year anniversary. It will be at St. Thomas More Church in Blessed Trinity Parish. That's at 20425 Rockaway Point Boulevard this Saturday, October 29th at 5 p.m. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.